okay. Yay! Cheese
Cheese.
is okay.
Yeah, it doesn't cause heart
Whoa.
disease. Makes me slimmer. It's
They're
healthy.
real.
Hey guys, welcome to another video.
This has been the setup of all setups. Oh my god. All right, first of all, we're indoors because, can you hear that? It's cicada season, we guess.
Yeah,
Ear-piercing noise of these insects. I think they rub their legs together.
they do. And there must be a lot of them because they're small, they make a big noise.
And it's been going on for over an hour. We can't hear ourselves think. It happened in the last video and you guys were like, what is that sound?
And we can't get rid of it, so we've had to come indoors, so...
Yeah, so we've got beautiful nature outside, but we're in a bedroom.
Yeah.
It was either this or not record at all.
And we want to see you guys, and we want to eat with you guys as well. Another mukbang.
It is. It's breakfast time for us, so we have our...
Which is unusual, because we normally have lunch while doing a mukbang.
That's right. So we've shifted forward, rearranged today. This is our classic TBC, oatmeal, bananas, and mango with cinnamon.
And we've also got golden flaxseed meal on top of the oatmeal before we put the fruit on, because someone, you weren't too keen on trying flaxseed with fruit, were
I said
you?
it basically the texture's like sand on your fruit. You know, it's not
Flaxseed meal this is.
Yeah, it's not that it tastes bad, it's lovely. It's just like, I feel like my fruit is sandy.
So someone said, why don't you put your flaxseed meal on your oatmeal and then you won't even notice it's there, and then put the fruit on top.
Yeah.
And that has worked,
That's
hasn't it?
worked really well. So you can get your flax in without having sandy fruit. Unless you like sandy fruit, that could be your thing. I don't know.
What are you guys eating? Let us know in the comments down below, and we're going to start having some because it's getting on in the morning, isn't it?
We're very hungry, borderline hangry.
Really nice, sweet Asian bananas. How's the mango?
Good.
So how you been, guys?
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
It's been about
It's been a week. Almost a week, yeah.
which actually, so
Brings us on to our first
we've got the
point,
agenda.
isn't it? Yeah.
You imagine how many things come up in a week and like that we want to talk about. So some of you were commenting in the previous video saying, oh, what happened to your regular videos that you used to do? You're only doing mukbangs now. What's going on? So we did talk about this in a previous mukbang, sorry, where we talked about the fact that we're going through some changes. We're trying to not just rely on YouTube, so we're working on a heap of other things, and that's all taking a lot of time, and we can't do our regular content plus all the new things that we're doing.
Exactly. We were revising ebooks, we're working on our website, we're looking at a podcast, a blog, photos to take, lots of things to do. So
basically this is the best that we can do.
Because we've got to eat, and we still want to keep in touch with you guys. We wish we could do it more often, but
This is
where we're at the moment.
And we can just, respond to things that come up throughout the week. We get so much stuff sent to us, so this is just a good way of us to go through that list and do like mini short responses in one mukbang.
Yeah, catch up, update, all of those things together.
So that's why the videos are what they are now. And we'll link that previous video down below if you want to hear the full update. Just wanted to explain that because I think a lot of people missed it. And they were like, what's going on? You changed your channel, what are you doing? So that's that. Next point of business. Don't joke.
There's a new short film. No, we're not there yet.
We're doing.
Oh yes! Yes, sorry, I should just read, shouldn't I? Our last mukbang video, we were talking about a debate between roaming millennial and vegan games. That took place over the weekend. We watched it the following day.
Which I have to say, sorry, like we were intending to stay up and watch it because it would have been about 10:30 p.m. our time.
Or 10.
Or 10?
10 p.m. our time, yeah.
And,
that's our bedtime.
It's our bedtime. We actually watched a movie that night and I fell asleep within the last half hour of the movie. I was dozing in and out.
Which was before 10.
It was like, we're just not going to make it for the debate, so we had to watch it the next day.
We did. Anyway, just like Roaming Millennial's initial video, there was nothing new in her arguments that she put forward in the debate. We had lions though, protein though, canines though, and there was another one.
That's basically the crux of it.
Yeah.
And then...
Jellyfish though, that's the new one.
Just eating jellyfish. Who makes jellyfish? That's weird.
Someone grasping at straws, I think, to justify continuing eating animals. I mean, not that she doesn't eat KFC. She was promoting that on her Twitter, as we said.
But
anyway.
Is that actually a thing now? Eating jellyfish? I don't know. I mean, they come up with eating just about everything these days, but I've never heard that before.
No, I haven't either. But it does remind me of a TED talk by Dr. Neal Barnard.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, where he says they have to write, you know, when you get
But anything that comes in a box.
Yeah, and they tend to put this little sachet in there. And it written on that little sachet, you all know the one I'm talking about, it says, you know, do not eat, you know. We've reached a point where they have to write do not eat on everything because humans will eat anything these days.
Right. Obviously this thing is not food, but to have to say do not eat it.
And I don't know about you, but when we're swimming, when we see a jellyfish, we're not thinking of food, we're thinking of hightail it out of there before you accidentally get stung.
They're actually very beautiful. They're very beautiful.
Aren't they?
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, when they pulse like that, and you've seen them in, you know, like National Geographic documentaries. It's very symbolic of life,
It's like it's breathing, like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm really spat my oatmeal. Yeah, so that's that. Didn't get anything out of it.
Nothing
basically.
new there. No. Yeah.
Anything more?
No.
Done?
No. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, done.
Next. Okay, so as we said, a lot of people send us all kinds of different links throughout the week. And we were sent a link to a short film on YouTube called Norm. And the person who sent it to us, it was sent several times, but the very first link that I read, the message didn't say that it was anything to do with veganism, so I didn't know what it was. You were out at the time. I clicked on it to watch it, and I was a minute in, and I actually almost stopped it. I didn't want to watch it anymore because it made me feel very sick.
Yeah.
It was talking about rape, and I just felt awful listening to the conversation that was had between these three young men.
Yeah, and when I was watching it this morning, just before filming this video, I felt the same. That
awful.
Sick feeling in your stomach. It's the same feeling we get when we watch racist films with racist themes, films with heavy drug use themes,
or just violence in general.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone takes to that well, but we just feel really sensitive to those kind of films. Like we struggled watching Wolf on Wall Street. You know, it just made us feel really yucky inside. So basically, that was my first reaction.
We watch a lot of
cartoons,
animated feature films, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. We just zone out. So, for example, on Saturday we were watching the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, God, he's funny.
It's great. It's great.
And you still get adult themes throughout them.
Yeah, there's so many of the jokes
without that, sick feeling in your stomach.
Exactly, just good old-fashioned, family-friendly comedy. Of course, this.
And it's not to say that we don't watch those other films. We're just saying that we get that feeling. Yeah. So that's what this short film.
It did, and I almost turned it off, but I thought, okay, there has to be more to it. And I just quickly scrolled down, and I saw the first comment. And it was something like, the ending line was, hypocrite. I can't remember what the comment was, but that alluded, okay, it's coming, the vegan message is coming.
Yeah.
And what was really interesting, the whole time I was watching this, I kept thinking, but they've got a carton of eggs behind the main actor. There's a carton of eggs there on the kitchen bench, What's going on? Are they going to talk about animals, or is this just by accident, coincidence, and oops, that's a mistake because... Yeah. Anyhow, as it turns out, it does have a vegan message.
Absolutely.
And basically, it's a conversation between three guys in a scenario where rape is legal. It's the norm. It's the normal thing to do.
So you got one guy, he has rejected the norm of rape in society, and he is an advocate for consensual sex. And then you've got the other two guys. One of them he's a hardcore rapist, and then the other guy, he's also a rapist, but he is clearly undergoing some kind of inner dialogue where, he's
Who's
caught between
open-minded.
he's open-minded.
Yeah.
He's caught between his hardcore rapist friend and then his friend who has rejected rape and has embraced consensual sex, and he's on the fence, isn't he?
He is, and so they're having a conversation.
And what a conversation!
It's incredible because basically they're having the same conversation that virtually every vegan has had. It covers all of the main topics, you know, bacon though, protein though, but we've always done it.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
You know,
All of the
whole lot.
arguments that we always hear and the justifications for continuing to eat animals, it's the same conversation, but instead of animals and animal products, it's women and rape. And it's
mind-blowing.
Exactly.
The script is
wow.
It reminded me of Carnage in how clever
Yes.
it is,
Yes.
how well scripted, how well put together, how credible. You know,
Very
obviously
credible.
it's like a hypothetical scenario, but it was so credible. Really well done,
I
well
felt
acted.
scared. I felt scared,
Yeah.
like to think, wow, if this was actually real, imagine a world where rape is legal.
Yeah.
And it was one of my favorite lines was the consensual guy,
Advocate.
was saying, but it's normal. Everybody does it, and that's why he wasn't blaming his friends. He said, I don't hate you. I don't blame you. We've all been raised the same way. Everybody around you rapes. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, celebrities. The President of the United States rapes. And that was like a smack bang moment where you go, holy shit. Everybody around us is doing, violent actions towards animals without even being aware of it. Everybody...
Because it's the norm.
It's the norm, you know. Eats meat, we're raised to eat meat, dairy and eggs. It's normal, it's natural, it's necessary, it's healthy, it's culture, it's tradition, it's blah, 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 blah. And everyone does it. Presidents, kings, prime ministers.
Paupers, everybody.
You know. And so will we one day get to a point where we have this conversation and it's looked upon in the same way as we now, can reflect on this film where it's about women and rape.
Yeah, which is what Carnage...
Carnage, exactly.
Yeah, so you've got to watch Carnage, you've got to watch Norm, and it also reminded us of The Herd, another short film where they basically described the dairy industry but using human females. And to be completely honest, we couldn't watch it all because again, that sick feeling in the stomach was overwhelming. We did watch quite a part, but then it just reached a point where we couldn't watch any more. But I definitely recommend those three. They're just eye-opening, mind-blowing, and also they're good to share, I think, because it gives a different perspective to carnists, doesn't it? It offers them a different perspective. So, watch them, share them on your social media.
Obviously, we'll link everything
below. They're conversation starters, aren't they?
Very much so. And I think it's very confronting, especially, I keep saying, obviously as a woman, it really shook me up to hear that conversation and just the way they were dismissing women like we're nothing, we don't count.
Objects, mere objects put there for sensual gratification of men. Just like animal products have been reduced to products, commodities, objects, things, instead of the sentient beings that they were, put here for our sensory gratification in terms of taste.
Very, very interesting.
The parallels were incredible, weren't they?
They were incredible.
Strong, powerful.
I know people are going to watch this, but the very ending is just fantastic. So the main character who is...
Are we allowed to do this?
Yeah. Well, we're discussing it.
If you don't want to hear the end part...
Spoiler alert.
Fast forward a few seconds.
Basically, he finishes his big, speech about why you should be practicing consensual sex and why rape is wrong. And then he picks up a bowl of food, and the guy who is the most pro-rape yells out in the background.
No.
Oh, no, sorry. Start again.
The guy sitting on the fence asks the consensual sex advocate, "What are you eating?" And the consensual sex advocate replies,
"Chicken." And the guy in the background...
The hardcore rapist in the background yells out,
"Hypocrite." And that's like, oh my God, yes. And it finishes there. Perfect. Perfect. And that would leave people, I mean, if you're not vegan and you're watching this, you'd be left thinking, hypocrite, what on earth are they talking about? Which just is going to lead them into looking into this and thinking more. And obviously if they're reading the comments, they would say, oh, right, it has a vegan message. So very, very smart film.
Yeah,
very
well
smart.
done to the producers. It's just
Yes,
it's
very good.
engaging, enthralling. Yeah, good and wow, great stuff.
So have a watch. Let us know in the comments below what you think of it. Do you think this is a good method? Do you have a problem with it?
Yeah, because don't analogies like these tend to stir up a lot of controversy. You know,
Yes.
another one that comes to mind is, say, the Holocaust, for example.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the Holocaust, you know, we say the Holocaust because that's the, how do you describe
That's just,
it?
I guess what's...
It's in recent living memory.
but it's also always made out as if there was only one Holocaust.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're taught.
Whereas
at
the
school,
word
anyway.
Holocaust existed before the actual, what we refer to as the Holocaust took place.
And if you go by the definition of the Holocaust, then there are many, many Holocausts that have happened throughout history.
Yeah.
And it doesn't specify humans have to be part of,
that's right.
you know, this situation for it to be a Holocaust.
Exactly. And so when vegans draw a parallel between the animal Holocaust and, you know, say the Jewish Holocaust, that tends to create a lot of controversy.
Having said that, and again we'll link another video down below from Bite Size Vegan, there are many Jewish survivors of the Holocaust who also referred to the animal Holocaust. And who have a very strong link between the two.
Yeah.
So, but you're right, every time this parallel is drawn between a human situation and an animal situation, it does stir up a lot of
how could you do that? You know, they're not on the same scale, level, you know.
If you put yourself in the victim's position, evaluate it from there, and I think you'd think of that very differently.
But that's part of our problem, whereby we've lost the ability, most of us, to put ourselves in the position of somebody else, you know, to really empathise. And, you know,
especially if they're an animal, because they look so different to us, don't they?
Yeah, well, I mean,
You know?
the thing is, we're pretty capable of doing it with, you know, our pets, like cats and dogs that we share our families and homes with. You know, like if we were to step on our own family dog's tail and it yelps, you know, you feel terrible. So, you know, that's there's empathy there, because you've put yourself in the dog's position and you know, if you wouldn't want your tail stepped on. But when it comes to the, you know, food animals, you know, because they're out of sight, out of mind, and we just see the end product that's neatly packaged, you know, it's perfectly designed and orchestrated to disconnect us from our empathy and our compassion, which is innate in each and every one of us.
It's a masterful act of manipulation.
It is.
Actually. So I think films like this basically are really bringing it to the forefront of discussion and making us reassess from a very different perspective. So if you are a woman watching it and you're not vegan, it would be very, very difficult, I think, to not seriously think about who you're eating.
Yeah.
And really think, wow, well, if rape was legal and that was okay to be done to me, how would I feel about that?
Yeah.
And if I was an animal and this was done to me and it was legal, how would I feel about that? So, very, very good. All right, leave your comments below. Oh,
yeah, exactly. No, I was going to segue from what you described as, did you say a master, is it a seed? Yeah. Sorry, I meant to warn you. Some of these little Asian bananas have black seeds in them that are quite hard and can crack your tooth if you come across them. So normally
you hear it before you...
and some have them, some don't. I mean, a while ago, because we've been having more mangoes lately than bananas, but when we're having bananas every day, I remember one of them had like 12 seeds in it. And they're only small bananas, so they're hard to extract sometimes.
They are.
So one got through through the cracks.
That's all right. I'll pay you back next morning, tomorrow morning.
So you described basically, you know, the animal agriculture industry and the system as, you know, masterful deception. that also carries over into the scientific field, isn't
Yes,
it?
which is next on our list.
Next on the list. So you guys were asking for us to respond to the new study that came out showing no correlation between dairy consumption, which is high in both saturated fat and cholesterol, and cardiovascular disease risk.
And they were focusing on cheese, I think, in this study, or in the articles that were reporting it.
Yeah,
I think in the articles.
Yeah, but I think it was possibly more broadly dairy, but they many of them just focused on cheese.
Yeah.
And again, it reminds us of a video we did not all that long ago.
Yeah.
That's it was about a study that said cheese makes you slimmer. And there have been so many of these studies, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Now, it's important, I mean, to the... Oh, God, wow.
Where do you start?
It's important for people to understand that this is arguably the most deceptive industry on the planet, the dairy industry. Not only are they exploiting animals in the most horrific way, it's really referred to as the rape, kidnap, murder industry, because they do all of those three things. So then dairy is one of the most environmentally destructive industries on the planet. And then from a health perspective, dairy, as we said, high in both saturated fat and cholesterol, does cause heart disease. But you can design studies that will show no correlation between saturated fat and cholesterol consumption and heart disease. And the dairy industry, well, actually the scientific community has known this since the 1970s. And the dairy industry, given the growth of veganism and the decline in dairy consumption, has had to combat their falling profit margins. And so they've latched onto the fact that there can be studies designed to show no correlation between the two, and that's what they've done. And they've funded these studies. I mean, this last one that's come out was funded by 3 dairy industry groups.
Ridiculous.
You really need to go no further, do you?
Look, when these studies come out, just go straight to who's behind it. If the people funding the study are also financially profiting from the results saying a certain thing, you know it's bullshit, okay? And if, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little worked up here, but we're so sick of seeing people, celebrate as though, oh, look, we've discovered, high five. Yay, cheese is okay.
Yeah, it doesn't cause heart disease, makes me slimmer, it's healthy.
Honestly, look, you'd have to be, I think, a few vegan cookies short of a cookie jar if you actually took these studies on board and believed them.
The problem is they know that consumers are going to look no further than the attention-grabbing headline that says...
They're not even going to read the bloody article.
Cheese doesn't cause heart attacks or strokes, They're banking on that, and they know that that's what most people do, which is why there's such... The media is so corrupt and so unethical bad. And so deceptive, and everyone can be bought. Everyone can be bought. Everyone has been bought. It's just despicable.
It's ridiculous.
So everyone absolutely has to watch 2 videos by nutritionfacts.org. The saturated fat studies, buttering up the public and set up to fail. Share these widely on your social media to counter these bogus dairy industry funded studies. It explains everything in 2 short videos. They're amazing. In these videos, you'll learn that the global dairy industry held a meeting in 2008 at which they devised a deceptive plan to increase demand for dairy by funding bogus studies set up to fail to counter the growing body of scientific evidence proving that saturated fat and cholesterol in dairy and other animal products does in fact cause heart disease.
So someone said, go and check out this Instagrammer.
Mrs. Angemi.
1 million followers.
So she
posted...
performs autopsies. Anyway, so Instagram's full of really gross stuff.
Okay, her first line, dairy not bad.
Capitalised.
With cows on each side.
Spaced.
Sorry, vegans.
Yeah.
It's not sorry, vegans. It's sorry, carnists. It's time to wake up. It's like, you've got to be bloody joking. If you're promoting meat, dairy and eggs in 2017 with all the information we have about the ethical side, the environmental impact and the health stuff, not the pseudoscience but the real stuff.
You're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot.
You're an irresponsible idiot. Because you are risking the lives of your followers.
Yep.
You're sure as hell putting animals to death.
And you're supporting an industry that is destroying the planet.
You don't live on your own planet. You live on one planet collectively with everybody else. So you need to really think about what you're putting out there.
And quite often, now these people can have their own egotistical agendas. So Mrs. Angemi might be like, you know, yeah, I really love cheese and I'm sick of vegans saying that I shouldn't eat it and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to have this rant against vegans. Or these people with big followings, I mean, 1 million people is a lot of influence. Again, the immensely wealthy and powerful animal agriculture industry can fund bloggers to, you know, write these pieces and be mouthpieces and spokespeople for them.
We don't know if she's paid. We're not saying that she is.
Just saying it's
just
putting it out there. Certainly within the realm of possibility.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Absolutely not.
Anyhow, we're going to link a video down below that we did a recorded interview with Dr. Barnard, Dr. Neal Barnard, on his new book called The Cheese Trap. And it's a fantastic book. We really recommend people either read it or I think there's the audio book as well, so we'll link everything down below.
Yeah, and we ran a competition, didn't we, to give away a copy of the book, and we sent it to the winner, and they've read it and loved it, and now they're sharing it with their circle.
And the beauty of that book was it goes into the details. I mean, extraordinary things that we didn't know actually about how cheese is made, what's actually in it, and what it does to the body. Incredible. If you think this stuff is healthy, you got cheese stuck, a bit of cheddar for your old noggin.
Exactly. And Mrs.
Put that in your mouth.
I know.
And we all, you know, we all did it because that's how we've been raised once again.
But once you know better.
There's an addiction to cheese as well. It goes into that. And so studies like this, basically they're saying they're feeding your addiction. Go, hook me up, feed my addiction. And addicts, and we were all addicts to dairy, will hold on, will latch on to anything that's going to solidify their addiction and allow them to continue.
Yeah, well,
you know,
let's face it, a drug addict might actually kill their own mother for the next hit.
Yeah, that's how desperate they are.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, is how we feel when we see people promoting and encouraging and celebrating, you know, ridiculous, bogus studies like this and articles. It's like, you've got a serious problem. You have a serious addiction and you are justifying the most ridiculous things just to keep your addiction fed.
Yeah, and it's particularly disappointing when it comes from somebody who performs autopsies for a living, because heart disease is the leading cause of death in the world. Over 17 million people worldwide die from heart disease every year. And it's a completely food-borne illness. Now, when you're, Mrs. Angemi, when you're cutting up the coronary arteries and you're pulling out the sludge that you so eloquently describe in your Instagram post, do you think the sludge resembles cheese or broccoli? What do you reckon?
I don't know.
It's a bit of a no-brainer. But
I reckon this banana, mango and oatmeal is going to do some real damage to the old ticker, eh?
Yeah.
We'll link the actual science below, the science that isn't funded by the dairy industry. Look after your health, look after your family, look after the planet, look after the animals and stop eating crap.
Exactly. Good summary. Time to hear from you guys. Leave your comments down below. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Share it around to raise awareness and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's a lot to do, I know.
Thank you. Just in time for me to swallow and not choke. Please, you said subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ding the bell and check the box so you receive notifications for when we do upload, and we are going to continue uploading to YouTube. Thank you for your support and thank you for sticking around.
And the intention is to upload more regularly in the future as time permits.
Yes, so keep going.
And remember, until next time, guys, that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye, guys.